Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be painting up a Black Legion Space Marine. Starting off over our already primed mini, we're going to be going through with Rhinox hide. This here I'm slapping everywhere because we're now going to be going over it with Abaddon Black. And what I'm planning to do here is leave the previous tone from the Rhinox hide peeking through in the recesses and a few of the upper edges. What this is hopefully going to do is achieve a bit of a battle-worn look over the armor. And now with equal parts of Thunderhawk Blue and Abaddon Black, or Abaddon Black. What is the pronunciation? Anyway, mixing those two together, we're now just going to be doing a bit of a speckled on highlight approach here. Just going across, picking out the raised, more prominent areas and just stippling this across. Not doing any crazy edge highlights, as if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm not really a fan of that look. Now, if your mini that you're doing has got any bone motifs or skulls, now's the time to grab your preferred bone basing paint and go for gold. Now with this, I have gone with Galvorback because I originally painted, as you can see, this, is it tabard? Whatever this part is, painted it in the bone, didn't like the look of it, so I'm going with a red approach here. So slapping that down, getting nice even coverage. Up next, I've got McCrag Blue. This is just to pick out the trophy that is taken on the battlefield from an unlucky Ultramarine. So pretty straightforward there. Just going around filling that in, leaving a little line of black in the recess between the panels. Up next, Iron Warriors. Now just making my way through, picking out all of the silver trim across the mini. So that's going to be the harness on the front, the chainmail, as well as the little bits on the backpack vents. Up next, I've gone for bright gold. If you're using Citadel paints, I guess Retributor armor would be what you'd go for here. I just think it looks like really cool, the contrast between the bright gold and the black armor. But in later steps, I do dull this down quite a lot. Personally, I think I actually dulled it a little too far, to be honest. But anyway, make your way around, pick out everything there. This did take 2 coats. Quite often the metallics do, but yeah, just take your time, be careful. Now that the trim is all done, I've grabbed Mephiston Red, where I'm now going back into the loincloth. So here, as you can see, just going through, picking out and doing a few layers now, just building the definition of the highlights on this cloth. When I'm doing these, I do like to try to keep it all in one direction. It kind of, I don't know if it's a placebo effect, but it kind of, to me, really does emulate the cloth having a bit of texture and flow to it. Also go through and pick out any of the hair or tassels. This guy's rocking his top knot, just doing that in the same red. Next up, we've got Evil Sun's Scarlet. Now this here I'm doing just a little bit finer, just some more highlighting now, and I'm kind of going and putting a almost scratchy line appearance across the fabric. As I was saying before, I think this just helps make it look more like an actual fabric and not just a flat piece all just painted in one color. Now I'm swapping over to Mornfang Brown. This is to go across all of the pouches and leather straps. I've gone along and just kind of done a bit of an edge highlight across the bulk of it, and then just added a lot of little scratchy lines, followed up by a lighter brown after that, just to really emphasize and try to push that idea a little bit further. Now jumping in with royal blue, I'm going back to the trophy on his backpack and just picking out some of the higher points just to give it some highlighting. Stippling across there as that's my go-to for highlighting stuff. Coming in now with Skaven Blight. This here is what we're going to be using across all of the black rubber seals. Well, I'm assuming the rubber, just to add a bit of highlight there and make them actually stand out a bit. Now with a dark green, any dark green will do. This is what I just like to put on just for the little grenades that may be scattered on your mini. I'm trying something different here, using Rattling Grime, going across and applying this over all of the silver metallics across the mini. And now with Reikland Flesh Shade, I'm going across and just covering all of the gold trim. This, I love it. It just really boosts the contrast, it brings out all the details and the rivets and things like that. What I should have done, however, is gone back afterwards with the gold and re-established some of the vibrancy that it had there. Now with a fluoro, love these, absolutely love them. I've gone across, picked out the eyes and the glow on the plasma pistol. Does take a few coats of this to really get the effect down. The eyes turned out really well, I think. The glow on the pistol itself, I did a pretty shit job, to be honest. Now, coming into something that I'm still not very familiar with is transfers. So I've put some of this stuff down to help adhere and just make it easier to put in place and hold that little decal in place. The Eye of Horus, and away we go. And then finally, with some lead belcher, I've come back through and picked out some of the little silver spots, just doing a little bit of highlighting there across the chest and the helmet area. Again, I really should have done the gold, but this is what it is. And here we have him, our Black Legion Space Marine, all finished, ready to hit the battlefield and tear up some loyalists.
From Shame and Shadow recast, in black and gold, reborn.
And that is another Chaos Space Marine done and dusted. If you like this kind of easy to follow, simplistic painting style, it's beginner friendly, please consider leaving a like, comment, and even subscribing. Catch you in the next one.